Welcome to Ram and Goat Astrology. I am Laura Lee.
Hi.
And I have a guest here.
Gwen.
This is my daughter, Gwen, and Helena and Gwen have just met for the first time, so.
Yes, we just had a virtual handshake.
We did, which is so trippy, but that's how you have to do it these days.
Yeah.
You know, I've met so many cool people, and I'm so grateful for the internet because
Yes.
like without this would not be a thing, obviously. But,
yeah.
It's some amazing people.
Yeah, it's strange, this like virtual life, because I wonder, I think that we're gonna meet in real life at one point. And yeah, but I think that it will just feel like, you know, like I've seen pictures of your house, of all your kids. I feel like I'm there, you know?
Right. Same with you, right?
Yeah.
I got to go on vacation with you last week. You were on a different side of the country.
I was.
Awesome.
Anyway, this is Gwen's first time on the show, right?
I think
Yeah.
So Gwen is filling in for us. We had a different interviewer scheduled and it didn't work out. So luckily I have a ridiculous amount of children to pull from. So welcome. So Gwenivere has a birthday coming up in 18 days. And she wanted to have us do her solar return chart for her 10th year. She'll be turning 10.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to see what her assignment was for her 10th year.
Okay, cool. So it seems like, I mean, you have a mom who's like knows so much about astrology and talks a lot of astrology at home. So it sounds to me like you already sort of know what a solar return chart is.
Kind of, not really though. I mean, sometimes she talks about it, sometimes she doesn't, but I don't eavesdrop a lot, but I do it sometimes. So
that's good.
What do you think a solar return chart might be?
Like, yeah, I'm speechless.
You're speechless. All right.
I don't know.
So how I like to explain a solar return chart to people is that it's like your assignment for the year. So it's a chart that's different than your birth chart. So I actually have her birth chart up in front of us here, and I'm going to share my screen so everybody can see that. Gwenivere, if you're following along and you're not watching us on YouTube and you're listening, Gwenivere was born July 20th, 2013 at 11. Oh, I have 11:37 in here. She was born at 11:47. Let me change that in her chart here. 11:47 a.m. July 20th in Algoma, Wisconsin. So so that's what's going on with her. And it's exciting to have a birthday, isn't it? So the solar return is different than your natal chart because it's the same placement of the sun, but it is like a new assignment because all the other planets are in a different location.
So pretty much when Gwen was born, someone took a photo of the sky, and that is the birth chart that she will have for her, like all her life. Yep. Her sun will always be at 28 degrees Cancer, and her moon will always be in, now I don't see where it is, but her moon will always have the same placement at all of those planets. So that's the picture of her birth chart, and that will never change. However, the planets in the sky, they move all the time. So they kept moving after this picture was taken. And on her birthday, which is on the 20th of July, every year, if you take a new photo of the sky, the planets will be in new locations. Her sun will be in the same location because it's the same time every year that she has her birthday. But other planets have moved, and so we take a new photo, and from that photo you see that her moon is in a new sign, and all of the planets are in new signs, and you sort of see the assignment of the year, like Laura was explaining. You see the flavor, the new flavor of this year.
Yep.
And the coming year.
What I understand a solar return chart to be is this is the assignment you're given, kind of like school. Each year in school, you learn new subjects, you keep growing and expanding in these areas. And your solar return chart is like, this is what you're going to learn this year. These are the things you're going to focus on. And it's not that other, like for this example, this year, you don't have anything going on in Scorpio. It's not that you won't have scorpionic stuff happen. It's just not going to be a major focus for you this year. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
all right.
So just a new photo, pretty much.
Yeah. So do you have any questions before we start diving into your chart?
I think I'm good.
You're good? All right. All right. So natally, Gwen has her moon in Sagittarius in the 3rd house. Her sun is in Cancer, and it is such a beautiful Cancer stellium up here. She's got Sun in Cancer, Mars in Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, Mercury and Jupiter conjunct Mars, all in Cancer. So in her 10th and 9th houses. So she's got a lot of Cancer energy. And then a Libra rising. So that is what Gwen has natally. And then this year for her solar return, actually, let me pull up a new solar return. I had her time entered wrong. So
one way that you explained the solar return once, Laura, was that it's sort of like a new outfit for the year.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
Right, like you get a new haircut, you get a whole new wardrobe. This is the stuff going on for this.
This is the outfit, the cosmic outfit for the year.
Yeah. So this year, Miss Gwenivere is going to have her moon in Virgo at 4 degrees conjunct a Mars in Virgo at 6 degrees. So we've got that conjunction. And then you're going to be a weirdo, an Aquarius rising. Yay. That works for us, doesn't it?
Yeah. Our whole family is a weirdo.
Great.
The house is a weirdo.
The house is weird. Everything's weird about us. Yeah. We're very Aquarian. Your parents together make really Aquarian people, and then we have weirdo kids. So that's cool. So this year, you're going to really show up as your outer layer. Your rising sign is kind of the outer layer as Aquarius. And tell us what you have scheduled the day before your birthday. What do you want to do?
A new haircut.
A new
haircut.
And what is it going to look like?
Well, in the back, it's short, and then it goes longer in the front.
An inverted bob is what the lady said, right?
Yep.
So she's going to, the day before her solar return, she's going to show up a new way and with a different haircut that she's ever had before. So
it sounds like you're already embodying your solar return chart, Gwen. That's so cool.
Like she instinctively knew she needed a different look.
Yeah.
I want it for my birthday. You were specific about that, weren't you?
I love haircuts. I love them. I just love them.
No, it's great because hair grows. So you can just do a lot of new fun things and it will grow out. It will grow back out.
And
I love it.
Maybe this year you do a lot of weird haircuts. Maybe this is the year where you just kind of go get haircuts every couple months and get different styles.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Aquarius risings can show up in so many different ways.
It's a very individual sign. Like Aquarians are very individual. Like, I can do that. Let me do it alone. I know how to do it. And
sister, huh?
Oh, she's like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Saffron with her 6 planets in Aquarius. We have all learned
a lot of air. She has a lot of air.
Yeah. We've learned how to let her do it. Right.
So then the weirdo of the house. So then you have seen sort of how this energy can be embodied, and you will get some of that flavor, that individualism and sort of that, like, I think it's the very, very, like, that they are so individual, and that's what makes Aquarians unique and weird, because they are just so, individuality is so important to them, so that makes them really stick out and inspire others. Freedom.
Word coming to mind.
Yes, freedom. And Aquarians have the best ideas, like very much thinking out of the box. There's not much of a box when it comes to Aquarians, because they just have this whole otherworldly kind of vibe of coming up with new things, like Einstein or like Tesla, all of these things that no one has ever thought about before. Like, oh, why don't we try putting a hat on the foot and let's call it and just stuff that no one maybe thought about, and maybe it's great. Why not?
I love this, especially as a homeschooled kid and entering this new decade. This is where we really, as parents, encourage the kids to really seek their own interests, right? Like, you tell us what you're interested in learning and we will support that in whatever way we can. So whether that's Elliot and me writing a book together and him illustrating and learning how to self-publish, or, you know, now this year, Gwenivere, you can really use this Aquarius rising to really take your homeschooling and do what you want, really explore new and weird topics. Does that sound fun?
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You like to learn. Your natal moon in Sagittarius loves to learn. Like
Yes.
this kid. She's
Yes.
It's quite amazing. So
I
Aquarius
looked at your
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh no, I just looked at your solar return chart for this year, like the solar return you are in right now, just to see what kind of energy that you had the previous year. And I just remember saying that your ascendant was in Scorpio, and in your natal chart you have a lot of water, as you already know, and that ascendant in Scorpio probably gave you a pretty year full of like intense emotions, I'm guessing.
And intense changes. I mean, we had this baby brother that was a surprise to everybody, right?
No one knew him.
And
no one knew
he was, well,
snuck up on us.
He did sneak up on us. And that was an intense change. You really had to change the way you showed up, because Gwenivere was the youngest child until she was 7. And then suddenly, now she is right in the middle. She has an older sister and then an older brother. And now she has a younger sister and then a younger brother. So she went from the youngest for her whole childhood. And now as she's entering this new decade, she's got to be this middle child and sardined right in between these kind of two different energies of older and younger. So
yeah, I was the youngest child out of the whole family.
Yep.
And we have a big family.
Yeah, with the cousins and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And
now there's a whole bunch of younger ones under you. So this year was an intense change for her that way.
Yeah, that because the Scorpio sign is a lot about transformation as well. And I guess like a butterfly, you grow out of your cocoon and really like become this whole new thing. So, and comparing the Scorpio ascendant to now your Aquarian ascendant, just that I think is a huge difference. I think this year won't be maybe as intense with changes and stuff. I think it will be more about you exploring. And like instead of things happening around you changing, I think that you will be the one who want to change, like to try new things and have new ideas. Yeah. And probably want others in the family to try these new things with you.
And I'm looking down here. I always look at Uranus for anything that revolves around change, right? Yes, Scorpio is change as well, but Uranus is like that sudden change, and Uranus is rules Aquarius. Does Aquarius rule Uranus or Uranus rule Aquarius? Which one is it?
Uranus rules Aquarius.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
My brain is always like, I just know they're
well, either way.
But anytime I see that as a rising sign, I look to the planet that's connected with it. And Uranus is in her 3rd house. Still in Taurus, as we know, but it's in her 3rd house of communication. And it's square to her planet of communication, Mercury, in the 6th house. So my mom brain goes, oh, this looks like conflict, like verbal communicating conflict, right? She wants to be independent, and not necessarily with me, but I think with Leo type energy. Well, her older brother's a Leo rising, and her closest sister, who's 20 months older, is a Leo Mars and a Leo Venus. So we have a lot of Leo energy where there may be some communication conflict as Gwenivere starts to exert her independence and her unique expression, right? Uranus in the 3rd house, unique expression. That might cause some conflict with the way she communicates it to specifically her older siblings.
Yes.
Do you see that happening?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
how can we work through this?
By sleeping.
What a Leo answer.
Right. Well, she does have Saturn and Pisces in the 1st house, so she Sleep is definitely something that would happen for sure. Yeah, that's funny. What do you see there, Helena?
No, I was thinking about Mercury. Like natally, in your natal chart, you have Mercury in Cancer, right?
Yes.
It is in Cancer. So, but you also have your moon in the third house of communication. But otherwise, what I think about that placement of Mercury in Cancer is that it makes you a person who is not super duper outgoing with with saying what's on your mind, or like it's hard for you. I have Mercury in Cancer, and like it's hard for me to form words sometimes. So like where I see shapes and feel feelings, but it's hard to put letters on those words. But I feel
when she's over emotional, or like the emotions are getting too big.
Yeah. Do you feel that, Gwen, that when you want to express something or explain something or tell a story, that it can be hard to stick to a timeline or like of explaining things?
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm the same way. But I think now in this year coming, when you have Mercury in Leo, it will be a lot easier for you to express what's on your mind, because it's in a fire sign, and fire just gets it out. And I actually had the same. I had Mercury in Leo this year, and when I saw that, it made me so happy, because I'm like, yes, take my intellect out of the waters and put it in the fire. I need to be heard, And I think it's great for you to have that Mercury in Leo for this coming year, and even if it means some uncomfortable moments with your older siblings, it's growth that needs to happen. Like they're probably so used to you maybe not being the one to always be outspoken or say what's on your mind, and now you will do that, and that will be something new in your relationships, but it's something that is needed.
It indicates more courage with speaking up. And some leadership energy there, and especially with it connected to Uranus, which is about being independent and individual. And even if it's a square, there's still that connection. There's still having this conversation, and that's being unique and a leader and courage and independent and stubborn, and this should be fun. But I think this is where she needs to exert her personality in the family, becoming the middle child. Man, that's a tough thing. We've talked a lot about that.
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing to all of a sudden become the middle child, and you got to find ways to be seen and be heard. And look at this, we're doing a podcast, your first podcast for your birthday, and it literally says, hey, speak up and be seen, right? Like that's cool. Look at that.
And every day it's in the sixth house. It's in the sixth house as well, so it will be like in the everyday sort of life that you're gonna make yourself heard.
Yeah, maybe you'll start doing your own podcast or your own YouTube channel or something like that. You'll work on it every day. That would be a Aquarian thing to do. Use technology to speak out your thoughts and your opinions. Yeah, doesn't that sound fun?
What are your sort of thoughts and feelings about this coming year? Have you thought about it? Like what's in the future for you, for not too long ahead, but just like the coming months or this year?
Not really, no.
No, is it something that you've been wanting to try that you haven't tried yet, or like a hobby or an interest you have?
Good question. What you been looking at on Pinterest and exploring? We do so much art. She's so artistic with her, all of this watery natal stuff, and she's just and then she's got Neptune and Chiron and Pisces in the 5th house natally, so she's really very artistic. And Neptune is opposite Venus, so I mean there's a lot of connection with artistry, so we do a lot of art normally. Is there any kind of new art thing you want to explore, or?
Well, there's not an art thing, but I do know I want to go skiing.
Skiing. Aha.
Nice.
Interesting.
Well, you do have quite a lot of fire also in this new chart. You have Venus, Mercury, and then you have your MC and Chiron and your North Node. But Venus, let's see, where is Venus?
She is over in Leo.
Oh, in Leo.
28 degrees Leo. Yep. So yeah, you will love, and skiing makes sense because A, it's fun. B, it's active, right? There's activity involved. And C, you have to have some courage to go downhill skiing, right? That takes courage because it can be a little intimidating and scary. It's been years since I've been skiing, but I do enjoy it. And I could see where that would really be stimulating to your mind with Mercury, and Venus will really love the working with your skiing teacher. Maybe one of your uncles. Both of my brothers are avid skiers, so they said they'd take her this year. So you'd like to work with your teacher, whoever that is.
Yeah. Gertie asked Ricky if she could go skiing with him. He was going to this year, but he couldn't, so he's gonna do it.
My younger brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's gonna take you girls skiing this year?
Yeah.
Nice. And you did just have an experience with your grandpa the first time the other day. What'd you do?
Yeah. I went on an airplane.
Yep. He has his private pilot's license.
God.
And you got to go flying in his little 4-passenger plane. So what'd you think of that?
It was fun. It was really fun. I loved it. Except the part where he went up and then he dropped down. My belly went down.
Ooh. Did he do that on purpose or did it just happen on purpose?
He likes to do that with the kids. Do you think that's something you might be interested in exploring more?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you know you can get your private pilot's license when you're 16 years old?
Really?
That's only in 6 years. You could start studying now and get your license when you're 16.
Okay.
That would be an Aquarian thing to do.
Wow, that's very young to be flying a plane. 16
Isn't
years.
It though? But it takes a lot of work to get your pilot's license. It's way harder than your driver's license. Way harder.
Oh.
So there's
that's really
rigorous tests and stuff. So that'd be cool though.
Yeah. That would be really
cool.
So Venus
that's so cool.
Leo, what are your thoughts on that, Helena?
Well, Venus in Leo, I think I love Venus in Leo, and I'll just think about someone who just sort of put glue on your whole body and then roll around in a pile of glitter or something. Leos just love. My point is that Leos love things that shimmer and shine and sort of like magpies. They're really drawn to anything that's shimmering in the distance. Oh, I like that. That would look good on me, or that would look good in my home. But mostly that will make me look nice, because it's very much about that showing up, showing yourself and strutting down the street and feeling good about people seeing you. It is, and it's not a bad thing, because I am a Leo, and I've been trying to get away from that I've been reading, we like to be seen and we like compliments and all of those things as Leos, but we do, and it's not a bad thing at all. You need that, and it's just amazing to see those people as well who just walk on the street, with a golden cape or something. Or I don't know. I've never seen someone wearing a golden cape, but you get my point. With extravagant clothes and glitter, and they just walk down confident and fun, because it's a fun sign as well, and that is so inspiring. And I just think when Venus is there, that it will be all about you. Really looking for those extra nice things in life, whether it's clothes or jewelry or food, extravagant food, eating oysters. And
with Jupiter in Taurus for the year and Uranus in Taurus, and then Leo is hanging out, or Venus is hanging out in Leo, I can see us going to the thrift stores and buying new wardrobes, that totally different wardrobe than what you're normally used to. Maybe you start wearing dresses again that are more fancy, and you just wear fancy dresses to the grocery store just because. Right? Yeah. Didn't you say you wanted to get dressed up with me on our next date? Fancy dresses?
And go and have a tea party.
And have a tea party.
Yeah.
Be regal and royal. Have a tea party.
That's very much Leo. And also like, getting creative, because Leo is super creative, and with Venus there, it will just be, you'll be so drawn to get creative.
I've been meaning, I have 2 sewing machines and a serger machine, and I've been teaching her sister, but now it's time for her to start learning sewing. Maybe we can sew some new clothes for you that are, or new fancy somethings, new hats, or who knows, right? Maybe we do a whole new hat business. Who knows? It's Aquarius rising. You could do anything.
You never know.
You could do anything. That would be fun, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be with a partner too, because it's showing up in your 7th house of partnerships. Yes. And then your moon is there in the 7th house in Virgo, right next to Mars in your 7th house in Virgo. So you're going to be emotionally driven to work with a partner and have a consistent routine, or, impact with somebody's health and well-being, or helping people just kind of feel better about themselves. Do you see that, Helena?
Yeah, for sure. With all of that Virgo. Yeah. And the 7th house in your solar return chart, the 1st house and the 7th house are the bigger houses. So it's about the balance between you and like the I, and then the we and the relationship. And there's a lot of planets in the 7th house of relationship and going through life with someone else. And in the sign of Virgo, that is very organized and like structured. And then on the opposite side, you have Saturn in the 1st house, and you also have Venus there in the 1st house. So there,
Neptune.
But what did I say?
Venus.
Oh, Saturn and Neptune, yes, in the 1st house. And so I think for this year, what you could think about is, if you're in a new circumstance, when you're feeling frustrated or something like that, you can think about these 2 things, like, is this frustration coming up because I am wanting to do something myself, because I want to do something for me, or and maybe I can't do that because this other person, I also want to do this with this other person. It could be that struggle of trying to know what you want to do and know what you need. Like, do I need to do the me thing or the we thing? And you need both.
Yeah.
And giving space for that. Like, sometimes you just go and you do your own thing totally alone. You can say to everyone else, no, I'm just going to do this alone. Leave me alone. I need my own time and space, and it's fine. And then you also need to really have other people there, and to do all of these fun things with others, with your sisters, brothers.
Yep. Yeah. I can see this showing up, just thinking about the way we live and how you're explaining it. I can see this showing up with her needing to speak out when she truly does need a break. So we do rely heavily on the children for, whether it's, hey, watch the baby while I go out and do a podcast, or, things like that, right? Could you go do the barn chores? And it's not overly so, but we do rely on them quite a bit. So if she really does need some space and alone time, she needs to verbally communicate that effectively. Or I also see Virgo energy as making sure we schedule that, right? Even though it's an Aquarius rising and she wants freedom, but emotionally she's driven to have an understanding with other people, 7th house, to know what's happening, right? Mars is the happening, the action planet. Venus is working together with people. So these are all in the 7th house. So she's going to be concerned about other people, which she lives with a lot of people. And we do need her to work hard on also telling us when she needs space alone, right? Saturn in Pisces is kind of that alone time, whether it's meditating or drawing in your journal, writing in your journal, the things you do up in your bed, reading. Yep. You're going to have to work hard on communicating that to us, because you are going to want to help the family and help your brother, help your sister, help your mom. There's a lot of helping energy, But Saturn over in the first house is asking you to please make sure you're working hard on taking care of you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because those oppositions, right? This is an opposite, and it's like a teeter-totter. And we don't want the teeter-totter to get crazy and we fly off one end of it.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
No, you want it to go up and down, not slowly.
Yep.
Not like you.
Yeah. You want it to be a more smooth kind of fun teeter-totter and not like puking off the sides of it.
And being scared for the whole time.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think this is really important as a mom to see this, that I need to remind her if I'm starting to feel, right? Pisces feeling, if I'm starting to feel or sense that she needs a break and needs alone time, to make sure she goes and does that. Saturn makes you work hard for that stuff. You got to work hard for your spirituality time and your, inner introspection time, right? Your the personal time. So as you grow through your 10th year here, you're going to need to have more and more alone time. And it's hard to get alone time in this family, isn't it?
Yeah. When I go in my bed, Gertie's in there, Saffron's in there. Yep. Elliot comes in talking about Halo. Papa's getting mad at Elliot.
Right? So maybe you need to go find your own space somewhere else on the property.
You have a huge you have like a lot of land. So is there another space that you like to be in, like in where you live?
Pips Hill.
We have a hill in the woods in the back. Yeah, you could even just take one of the dogs for a walk back there.
Yeah, we call it Pips Hill.
We could set up the tent back there. That'd be cool. That would be really
That's
cool.
a really good idea, because then you get a whole new room that anyone can use, and that could be sort of the space you go to when you want to be alone.
I like that.
You could even you can even have a sign outside saying, like, if it's used or not used. Like, is someone inside? Okay, someone's already inside. I'm not going to get any closer, because even just coming to the door and saying hello, if you really need alone time, you don't even want to say it's taken or whatever. You just need to be left alone.
Yeah, closed. Do not enter.
Keep out.
Do not enter. Yes, keep out. Someone's having alone time in here.
I like that. And I think that would be good about Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus down here too, in your second house and your third house. You could take your journal back there and go and just do your journaling or your drawing or whatever art thing and listen to a book or whatever you want to do, back in the tent, and do big stuff in the, out in the nature, out in the woods, but by yourself.
Yeah.
That feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can decorate it. Use all of that Leo energy.
I like that. I like that a lot. How's that feel for you?
I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just want to go out there and read or something.
Get away from everybody.
Get away.
That's why I come out to the studio here. Get away.
Go away.
This is your tent. Yeah, you should put a sign on the door too.
My tent has air conditioning and a tea kettle.
That's nice. And a bathroom.
Bathroom. Exactly. Oh, I like that. I am noticing that Saturn is directly opposite Mars. So it is exactly opposite, 6 degrees and 6 degrees. So that can be a little challenging. You might have some tests to see if you are maturing and growing, and that, anything that is talking to Saturn, especially Mars, can be some challenges, right? This is where some intense challenges can come up. How do you interpret that, Helena?
Yeah, for sure, challenges when it comes to Mars and Saturn, two planets that are not like the soft and mushy fun ones, but more of can be a harder energy. So yeah, that can really make for some uncomfortable testing. But we all go, we have these always in life. When most of the time when we're frustrated and we're just crying or whatever, we are going through something like this. So it's not something to be like scared of or whatever, because you've gone through this kind of things before. But this might be a theme this year to just mature a lot, and you're in that, you know, that stage of your life. You're 10 years old soon. It's a lot of maturing going on, and I feel so old. I mean, you guys are growing so much, you know, both physically and mentally. Your mind's just expanding, learning so many new things. So
I see this as, you know, Mars is your drive through life, right? So
yes,
she really wants to drive the car of knowledge. Virgo is about learning knowledge and health and wellness and being more organized and more structured. And Saturn is over here in Pisces going, hold on now, just wait a minute. We have to do some healing of some past, right? Anything with Pisces I think of is like past energy is affecting us, and we have to heal and deal with that. So maybe this is stuff from when you were little, and you're going to start probably being triggered. When she was about Saffron's age is when I really had some really intense mental health issues, hormonal issues, physical issues, and it was a really hard time in your life.
Yeah.
Do you remember it or not?
Yes.
Yeah. And it was her emotional needs that really helped me to go through my Saturn transition and mature and grow and learn how to handle my emotions and my anger in a much better way.
Yeah.
And now your little sister is exactly that age when mama started really losing it, like really struggling bad. And I think this might be a time for you to work on healing that and recognize that you came here to help me do that work, right? And now you get to do that work this year. You get to grow and mature in how you handle your anger, right? How you handle your frustrations, how you handle your drive and your ambition. And Saturn goes, hey, wait. Hang on, let's think about this. Is this the best way to do this, right? Virgo wants you to be healthy about things and grow into a healthier way of doing it. And that's what you taught me.
Yeah.
You literally came here and I fell apart because I didn't have the tools to deal with the three of you. I didn't know how to be a parent to these three little kids. And you were like that catalyst that made me learn how to deal with my emotions and learn how to deal with all of my big anger I had. And your Cancer energy was like, I'm going to put that out for you, mama. I got you. Let me help you with that fire. Right. And her watery self helped me to get into my feelings and my water. I only have 13% water in my chart, you guys, and the rest is fire and air. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else. And so I needed her water energy, which I think you're like 55% water.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to come and help me heal my stuff, right? And I feel like this year, this is kind of what you need to be alone for, and why you need to take space to analyze how you're dealing with your anger. Are you dealing with your anger in the way you want to? Or are you maybe exhibiting mama's patterns from before, right? Are you doing what mama did, and which wasn't healthy, right? Maybe yelling a little bit more. Maybe you're having emotional outbursts, right? That kind of stuff. Do you see that, Helena?
Yeah. And I'm also thinking about when it comes to Mars, it's such a physical planet. And then we have it's opposing Saturn that we're talking about, and it's in the first house. And the first house is about the body. So I was going to ask you, like, do you do any type of sport or anything that you think is fun?
What are you doing right now for a sport?
Soccer.
Oh, you do?
Some football, yes.
Amazing.
You're liking it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's really liking it.
Yeah.
So maybe we continue with that and really keep pushing yourself. And she'd be amazing, you know, with her natal moon in Sagittarius. Like, she loves activity, like loves it. Yeah. It's great. And then her Venus is in Leo natally. So we've got this love of action for sure.
Yes. That's cool. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking about when I saw the Mars and the first house relationship, that you need to find a way that you can be active and you can, you know, just be physical. And I guess soccer is great. Yeah. Because it's fun and you're doing it with a team, which is, well, seventh house, you're doing it with others.
Yeah. Yeah, you're really enjoying it, aren't you?
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't even look. I got to check her chart for this year. So this year, her solar return chart, when she turned 9, she doesn't have anything going on in her 7th house at all. And there's a lot happening in the 6th. Mars and Uranus and the North Node are all in the 6th house. So we have had some independent rebellion in our day-to-day routines, haven't we?
Yeah.
Ooh, she has not been wanting to follow any type of rule this year, any type of structure.
Tell us about it, Gwen. You want to talk about that?
Have you?
No.
Have you been feeling it?
Yeah.
Tell her more.
Like when Mama asked me to, like, I don't know, do my chore, like vacuum. I don't do it.
She literally avoids it with any way you can.
Yeah.
She'll just turn around and walk out of the room. She just won't say a word. And she just.
And do you plan that? Are you like, oh, she wants me to vacuum? I really just want to do whatever I want to do. Or like, what is it that happens inside?
Well, I think of something else that I want to do, or like something that I need to do. Like, oh, I'm gonna go clean my room, I say, or oh, I need to go to the bathroom, I say.
The bathroom situation has been quite irritating. She conveniently always has to use the bathroom right when we ask her to do her chores. And then she happens to be in there for like 20 minutes. And we're like,
yeah.
Where'd Gwen go? Where is Gwen? That's all year long, hasn't it? Look at her.
But do you agree that these chores are fair in the family, and that it's like stuff that needs to be done, and that you think that, yeah, I should actually be doing that? Or do you think like, I don't think I should do it?
I know I need to, but I know I don't want to.
Yes, see, that's a hard thing when it's like, oh man, I really don't feel like it. And it's something that, even as an adult,
right?
I still have that feeling like, oh, I really don't want to sit and look at that bill.
All the time.
But I know I have to do it. So that's something that as humans, we work with for quite a long time, like finding a way to do the things that we know we need to do, but they're so boring. But the thing is that if you don't do them, like with me and my stuff, they just hang over me as a dark cloud, and I think about them, and I think about me not doing them, and that makes me feel sort of like not good. And then sometimes I'm just like, why am I punishing myself? The best thing for me is if I just do this, get it out of the way, and then I don't have to feel bad about not doing it. And then I can just move on with my life.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. She also had her moon at 1 degree Taurus this past year, and she's in a Taurus progressed moon. So we had some like uber stubbornness going on this year. It was a really stubborn year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I love that you agree.
Usually she's more flowy. She's my flowing child, right? And this past year was her 7th house started in Taurus. She's got North Node, Uranus, Mars, and Moon in Taurus for the year, and then her Taurus progressed moon. So it was a really stubborn energy. And then being that Scorpio rising, and she had Saturn in Aquarius, so she was working real hard to be real rebellious. In the 2nd house, or in the 3rd house of communication. So instead of communicating, she'd just walk away. Like she would just like, no. Where'd Gwen go? What? She just wouldn't communicate.
Yeah.
It was crazy this year, wasn't it? So I'm looking forward to the change.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is this something that you find difficult, that you would like to ask when we're looking at your chart? Like, I've been thinking about this thing. It could be like whatever in your life that you find maybe challenging, or that you're wondering about, or
I don't know.
It's something you would like to see more of. But because I remember when I was a kid, I was super shy. I was super duper shy. Yeah. And I think that if I would have spoken to an astrologer, I probably would have wanted to know how I can be more talkative, like get friends, or be more verbal, and maybe more, just grow confident in that area of my life. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything like that you're wondering about? It could be
anything about friendships or school or learning stuff, or
No, I don't think so.
no? You're just good,
No.
huh?
Yeah,
well, that's cool.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. And also, you can ask something that we won't put on the recording, that we will just leave out. So if there's something that we have talked about for this time, or something that you want to ask but you don't want it to be on the podcast, we will just cut it out and not put it on the podcast.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Anything off the top of your head?
No.
No?
Nice. No?
I'm clear.
She's clear.
All clear.
Oh, good. Her waters are flowing nicely today.
Yeah.
We definitely understand in our house, we understand the amount of water you have in your chart. And we try to be very mindful about your water, don't we? And when you have emotional disturbances, right?
Yeah.
And we call her Hurricane Gwenivere. And when Mars and Jupiter are conjunct each other in Cancer, in your natal chart, you on their opposite Pluto in Capricorn, we have very intense storms that show up with the bigness of Jupiter, the intensity of Pluto, and the fire of Mars. That heat can get real intense on the surface of the ocean, and we can tell when she just needs to, the hurricane just needs to blow through. And we've worked very hard over the last decade to understand her more, and for me to be able to explain this to her siblings and her father about hey, we just need to let the storm pass. You don't get angry that there's a hurricane. You just board up your windows and you get some water and you wait for the storm to go by, right? And you sit and play board games in the dark while the power comes back on, right? Whatever you do during the storm. And we've tried to be really mindful about that and not make her feel bad about it or anything. How's that been for you? Has that been helpful with astrology, with your big emotions?
Yeah. Once I was really mad because remember that time Gertie, my eye bracelet broke?
Yes.
I was really mad about that because my friend gave it to me. And Saffron couldn't have got to it, right?
Yeah.
Because it was cut by scissors and they were only on the top. And Saffron wasn't in there for the whole time. Ellie was with her. I saw it.
Yeah, we had a bracelet situation where the bracelet probably got cut and nobody was owning up to it.
And Gertie was really mad at me.
Yeah.
So it's probably here. I went in there and me and Gertie got into a fight. So I went out and Saffron was with Ellie the whole time. And then Gertie came out and said, and the bracelet was fine when I went in. Yep. And Gertie came out and said, Gwen, you should see this. And I went in and my eye bracelet was broke across to the other side of the room.
Yeah, it went flying. Pieces everywhere. Yeah. And you got really mad. And I just try to, as a mediator, I try to, get everybody to safety.
Yeah.
Right? I try to get the fire tornado sister in one end of the house. I try to get the hurricane out of the house. We try to get the earthquake kid, out on the land. I try to get everyone to safety to let them experience their bigness or their big emotions. And then we attempt to come back and talk.
So I went to take a walk and I came back and I confessed to Gertie what she did. And she still didn't own up to it.
No. Well, you've got Saturn and Scorpio, and you are definitely having to deal in your life with a lot of maturity with people and energy around lying. I mean, Scorpio really can detect lies and seek out the truth and get to the what am I trying to say, Helena? That depth of the problem, right? Like a detective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Scorpios can see. You want to be a detective?
Yeah. I want to be a detective.
Oh, yeah. Cool. With all of that water, you'd be a great detective. Really seeing who's lying and who's not lying.
Yeah.
But what about...
When I confessed to Gertie, she was like, why are you going all detective on me?
Yeah, because
She asked that.
Yeah, you'd be a good detective because you can seek out when people are not telling the truth. You can feel it in your body. You can feel your waters change when there's a different vibration.
Yeah.
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 Especially with Scorpio, and especially this last year because your ascendant has been in Scorpio. But what about Gertie's dimples? You were saying before that Gertie, your sister, she has dimples that they, if she's lying, they come out and she can't hide it. But what was her dimple saying then? It didn't show?
They showed, and I told Gertie, Gertie, your dimples are showing. And she was like, no, they're not. They're not there. All right? They're not there. Leave me alone.
Like, I can see your dimples. I know you're lying. Oh, she must have felt really bad about doing that. She has a lot of fire, right? So probably she just,
so she
if
does
she
it,
did it,
she does it, then she blames it on someone else because she feels really bad when I get mad at her. So she just doesn't own up to it and blames it on someone else. So she gets free and doesn't have to feel bad anymore.
And even though the girls are only 20 months apart, Gertie is Saturn in Libra and Gwen is Saturn in Scorpio. So their Saturns are different. And it's something that they both have to work on. Gertie has to work on fairness and harmony. And Gwenivere really has to work with lying and detective, you know, those transformation energies and all the scorpionic stuff. It's very interesting to see these hard karmic things that the kids came into the world with. So
yeah,
it's fun to watch it come out and watch the astrology brain in my head go, oh, look at that. There's your Saturn right there showing up.
Yeah. What do you think about astrology, Gwen?
I think it's very helpful. That's what I think. Yeah. I think it's helpful in a lot of ways. Because, like, when my eye bracelet broke, it helped me take a deep breath and go for a walk up and down the driveway 4 times.
Because you knew that's what you needed because of your water that you get.
Otherwise, I would get really mad and blow up.
I love that. I love that.
That's so amazing.
I want to take a walk. So I went and took a walk, took a few breaths, ran, punched a tree. No, I didn't punch a tree. That would really hurt.
That would hurt your knuckles.
That would really hurt.
Don't do that. Yeah. You can punch the air or like get a sandbag or something.
Yeah.
That's
Papa actually has one of those giant punching bags in the box. Yeah. He blocked it off now because it could fall.
Yeah, we need a new one.
Yeah.
We're getting a new one.
It's like on this 2 posts that are very wobbly that could just like fall over on you. And then it's attached to a tiny string that could break.
Well, it's a wire.
Well, a wire, but
we need a new punching bag, don't we? That's so funny because I've been looking on Marketplace for a punching bag for us. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yep,
it's so great.
That's funny that I knew that.
What I want is a bow and arrow. I want that.
Yeah,
that's what I want. Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's what her moon wants, Laura.
I guess so.
You have, look at that side. You see, do you see your chart with your moon placement? Your moon is in Sagittarius, and it's sort of like, it's an arrow. So that's your emotions is in that sort of energy. You just need to let that arrow go.
Her Jupiter and Mars are in the 9th house ruled by Sagittarius. So I think we've done some archery courses with them, and she's really excelled at it, like really excelled. So I think that's something you said a sport would be, that's definitely a sport that she would like as well. So
and it's very sort of I love the way it's physical because it's not like rah like that. It's more like you're super in your body because you really have to just be in the here and now and like take that arrow. And what's that called when you do that? You tense
pull
up
back. You pull back on the bow and you have to take a deep breath and really breathe in and steady your body and steady your arm. It's a mental thing for sure.
Yeah.
Super.
I'm actually, so there is like the regular, like, good job for coming here badge. And then there's like, and then it was.
I know.
And then there's like
the participation trophy.
Yeah. So the first one was the participation.
Yep.
The other one was almost got a trophy, but there were only 3. And then the third one was 3 trophies.
And did you get those?
I didn't get a trophy, but I got the second badge.
Okay.
And Elliot and Gertie both got the first badge.
Okay.
So
you got to step up of them.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I got to step up.
Ooh.
You like that, huh?
Yeah.
Get a
So-
little bit better than your siblings there, huh?
Just secretly being really smug about it.
Right?
So what do you think about this solar return talk that we have had about the coming year? Did anything stick out? Did anything make sense? I hope something made sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made sense that I had to like go be alone, like because it's a tiny house and a lot of people, and yeah, that made sense. Yeah, that made a lot of sense to just go be alone, like take a walk or read a book or be alone. Yeah.
Yeah, be alone and be weird. Like, that Aquarius energy that just
something new.
Yeah. Be a weirdo. Do whatever you want. And I think it's a great idea with all of that Leo as well, to decorate that tent in whatever way that you want to. And make that little sign that says keep out if you're there. So you know that you will not be disturbed. And that's your sort of not secret spot, but your alone spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. And a lot of your planets are hanging out in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 6th house, which is, like your home life, your family, your day-to-day life, that kind of stuff. And then the 7th house is working with other people. Well, you got a lot of other people to learn how to work with. So
yeah, there's Gertie, there's Elliot.
That was the best
Taurus of the family.
emphasis of a name. And then there's Elliot. Kids are awesome. Yeah, so it's been interesting watching these 3 grow and utilizing astrology. And now this past year, I've really been getting into solar return readings. I haven't really explored them much before, but boy, am I finding it helpful.
Yeah,
I really am.
Yeah,
this is their assignment for the year. Okay, nice to know. Like, it's good as their mother and teacher to know what the universe assignment is for them, so I can help them with homeschooling. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for being our guest today. Aw.
So
we enjoyed
sweet.
having you.
good
Virtual hug. Good day to you.
Good day to you. Well, thank you for listening in on our solar return reading with my almost used to be youngest daughter, now my middle daughter, Gwenivere. And if you are curious about a solar return reading for you or your children, feel free to contact us. We would love to do a reading for you. We'd love to have you on the show. And like and share and all the things to support us. We would love it and appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Ram and Goat Astrology. You can support the show by buying us a coffee or a tea. Link in the show notes. Your financial support means the world to us. Join us next time.